Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Monday, June 21st. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what I've been to say. We had a nice winner in baseball with the Blue Jays team total over 5.5 and minus 118 on FanDuel. Blue Jays scored 4 runs in the 5th, scored, I believe it was 2 runs in the 8th, and then 1 run in the 9th to finish with 7. Nice and easy. We'll look for another winner here on Monday. And for the play of the day, we're going to be sticking with baseball. It's going to be on a match between the Astros and the Orioles, taking place at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And for the play of the day, we like the total in this one, and we like the over 9.5 and minus 125 in BetMGM. Time recording of 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like the over in this spot. First of all, when talking about a total, you got to look at the pitching matchup, and both teams have pitchers that are not very good. You have Jake Odorizzi on the mound for Houston, who has struggled this season and has also battled a couple of injuries, which has impacted how long he goes into some of these starts. But his numbers are not good. 5.68 ERA overall and a 6.75 ERA on the road. Now, Odorizzi's problem in the last couple of years has been allowing home runs. It's kind of plagued him ever since he was back with Tampa. But looking at his numbers this season, he's given up 5 home runs in roughly 25 innings of work. And if you look at how Baltimore's been playing lately, this team isn't very good, but this team can score. You look at the actual lineup, Mountcastle had 3 home runs in a game the other day. Mullins had 2 in a game the other day. Mancini had 2 in yesterday's game. They have a lot of home run hitters, and I do think in Camden with the wind blowing out, I'll get into that in a second, I do think that the Orioles should get a couple of home runs and end up probably putting up 3 or 4 against them in this spot. But looking at who's on the mound for Baltimore, it's going to be Aiken, who's not very good, 5.76 ERA and a 1.45 whip. Plus, you look at his last outing, and it was definitely not good. He ended up facing off against the Cleveland Indians, and he gave up 8 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings of work. So he got absolutely shelled, and now he faced off against a Houston team that is elite offensively and also elite against lefties, which is not really a good recipe for Aiken in this spot. Houston, if you look at its numbers, is averaging 5.59 runs per game, which ranks numero uno, number 1 in the league. I do think Houston should probably score at least 6 or 7 runs in the spot, maybe even more, just based on the actual matchup and the fact that Houston has just been absolutely dialed in over the last week or so as they have won 7 in a row. But looking at the trends for both teams have been in some pretty high-scoring games lately. You look at Baltimore, and 4 of its last 5 games have gone over 10.5. So they have had a lot of runs, at least 11 runs in 4 of the last 5 is pretty good. And you look at Houston, 4 of Houston's last 5 games have had at least 10 runs. So I do think you will see that trend continue where both teams should end up getting into a bit of a shootout in this one. And I do think you will see a decent amount of scoring chances for both teams. Now, looking at the wind, which you have to also mention because it is in Camden, the wind is blowing out to left field at about 11 miles an hour. Also should be about 88 degrees. So it's great weather, a lot of wind. I think you'll see a lot of home run balls flying out, and I do think you will see the Astros potentially score 7, but I do think Baltimore should end up getting 4 or so across. I think that there's a very good chance both these teams combine for at least 10 runs, which is why this total seems to be a little bit too low. So the play today, once again, here for Monday, June 21st, is going to be on the Astros and Orioles over 9.5 runs at minus 125 at MGM. Bye, everyone.